will show you how to create a virtual machine of your own systems. That means how to take the backup of your own systems. So VMware has this facility within the VMware workstation, but still if you run the VMware workstation and try to export your own systems, your own physical machine as a virtual machine, so that case you have to configure that case also you have to configure the vCenter configuration systems. So if you go directly to file and virtualize a physical machine, it will give you that message that the feature of VMware Workstation requires VMware vCenter Converter standalone product, and there only you have to configure it so that you can virtualize your own physical systems directly. Otherwise, what you can do that from VMware vCenter standalone converter also you can do it. So let me see from where we can get that VMware vCenter configuration. You can get it from VMware file also. VMware vCenter standalone converter. So it's a VMware product and you have to give your credentials to download it. So I have given my credentials. So download option is there. So after downloading, so the product is already downloaded in my systems. So I'm showing you. So this is the product.
Say something. Say something. Hello. Everything is great. My name is Dee. I'm your personal assistant. I'm looking for my sibling. Yes, the one who was on the screen just now. Yes, why don't we go to life? Yes, why don't we go to life? That is because I am still under the development phase.
So this is the VMware vCenter converter. Now convert a machine. So not only your physical machine, you can virtualize any remote Windows machine also if you have that authentication available with you. So two or three options are there: remote Windows machines or remote Linux machine or this local machine. So if you want to do the if you want to convert the virtualization through remote Windows machine, that case you have to provide the IP address as well as the username. But in this case, the username should be the username of your admin part.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
So here it is showing that 1 TB hard disk and 4 virtual CPUs and 8 GB of RAM that is going to be virtualized. So you have to select that through which you want to run that system. So I have given that VMware virtual machine. So you have to choose which workstation version you have to virtualize it. So as we have VMware 14, so better to choose VMware 11.x and or 12.x. And now select the destination. Now it is showing that which data to copy. It will take some time, at least 1 hour. So we can see that physical machine migration is completed. Now the interesting part is how much time it takes to complete the entire process. As you can see that we have started this process at 1:15 and it completed the entire process at 4 o'clock, around 4 o'clock. So it means actually approximately 2 hours and 45 minutes. Now it depends upon how much data storage is there, for how much hard disk space is there. So in this case, it has a 1 TB of memory space, so it will take some time. So you have to consider this time period also. Now let us see what happens to our migrated systems. So where we will get it. So you will find out that the destination is at the desktop, sorry, and at E drive. Now let us check at E drive. So this is our virtual machine, that is the created one. Now it is in VMX format. Now if we want to convert that, which will be useful for our to be used in VirtualBox in or some other hypervisors, that case you have to convert it again through OVF, Open Virtualization format. Now one problem, that is the significant problem, is that this machine is 1 TB machine and with 8 GB of RAM, right? We can see that from the properties. So it has 8 GB memory and 1 TB of hard disk space. Now how can I run the same 8 GB memory virtual machine with 1 TB hard disk space? So that case what you have to do, that we have to reduce the disk space as well as the memory space before running that virtual machine. And what should be the size of the virtual machine? You can easily see that the size of the virtual machine is 337 GB, 321 GB approximately, because they have squeezed the entire virtualization process. So in your system also you should have hard disk space which is equivalent to 321 GB, otherwise it will not run. Now let us try to run that virtual machine in that system. So this is the virtual machine supporting file. So you can find out that easily that the memory space here, it is 7.8 GB, processor is 4 processor, that is the existing physical machines processor, and the hard disk space is 911 GB. Now we have to reduce it. Now how to reduce this? Go to edit virtual machine settings, reduce the 8 GB memory to, suppose let us give 4 GB. Okay, and what else regarding the processor? We have 4-core processor. Let us reduce it to 2-core. Now for the hard disk space, we cannot reduce the hard disk space like this one. What we can do, that later on we can compact the hard disk space. So right now, as you have seen, that to run this virtual machine we need minimum of 311 GB of memory space, hard disk space. So we think we can accommodate this one, but I am telling you this one will be a little bit slow. So look at this. The virtual machine is now in active mode. The irony part is that we are running the physical migrated physical machine on that particular physical machine only. You will find out all the things that are available in the desktop itself. So look at this. So whatever there in your guest host machine, the same things are available in your host machine. So we have already seen that how to convert or migrate your existing physical machine. Now if we have to migrate the physical machine from a remote location of other machines, that can also be possible through VMware vCenter. But we have to be careful, and we have to take care of few things, that the remote machines, there should not be any VMware vCenter is installed, because that virtual that VMware vCenter will install the necessary components for migration from the remote center. Now if it is installed, that case we have to check that the same version is installed or not. So better to uninstall the VMware vCenter from the remote location and try this process. So let us go to convert a machine. So we have to choose remote Windows machine, and we have to give the IP address. And the IP address is of the remote machine is 192.168.31 of 142. That is a machine of our lab. Give the admin ID and password. Now it will give you one message that uninstall the virtual machine vCenter standard for the standard agent, and it will automatically uninstall the files when the import will be successful. So give the location where you have to store your virtual machine, and you have to give a credential for the network sharing.